What's up, Mafia? The rumors linking Max Crosby back to Philadelphia are back in the open media. Jordan Davis is making his leadership known at OTAs, and Jordan Mailata, at 6'8", 365 pounds, just called a rookie not of this planet. There's a lot going on right now with our birds, so let's get it mixing. Let's start here, because this conversation isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Bart Scott went on ESPN and just said, flat out, he believes that Max Crosby is headed to Philadelphia.
I believe that Howie Roseman is going to take this space that he had. We just saw what happened with Myles Garrett, and he's not going to be one-up by anybody. I think Max Crosby is going to Philadelphia. I think they have the player in Nolan Smith to trade, and they can mimic the same trade, and the arms race is just beginning, and I love the NFL.
Okay. Talk to me, Peter.
I haven't heard that, but we'll see.
I ain't told you.
Now, Bart Scott isn't an insider. He's not Adam Schefter, and he's not Ian Rappaport. But this is the second time in less than a week that Max Crosby's name has been linked to the Philadelphia Eagles. The argument from Scott was simple. The Rams just got Myles Garrett, making them better than they were last year. Howie Roseman doesn't sit around when the competition takes a step up. And the Eagles have that 2028 first-round draft pick they got for trading for A.J. Brown. It's just sitting there, waiting to be used. Now, the name floating around in a possible trade is Nolan Smith. And I want to be clear, nothing is confirmed, but the idea is this. Nolan Smith, plus that 2028 first, and maybe a mid-round pick to sweeten up the deal. And you bring Crosby here at a discount because the Baltimore Ravens already killed his trade value when they failed his physical earlier this offseason. But hold on, this is the part that gets real interesting. Fox Sports reported this week that Max Crosby trade talks could heat up once he's back on the field and prove that his knee is right during minicamp and training camp. Now the counter argument, and it's a fair one. The Eagles already have Jonathan Bernard, Jalen Hunt, and Nolan Smith. That rotation in general just seems legit. But here's the other side of that. The Rams just threw Myles Garrett into a conference where the Eagles are supposed to be the standard. And Howie Roseman has never been the type of guy to just sit and watch while other teams get better and we remain the same. And now there are rumors that Aaron Donald is thinking about coming out of retirement to play with Myles Garrett. And in my opinion, Howie Roseman, if that does happen, you do whatever it takes to make this trade happen. Get Max Crosby in Midnight Green. But let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Is Howie Roseman making this move, or do you think that we already have enough? Now let's talk about something that got me fired up all last week. It's only OTAs, no pads, no stakes. Most guys are going half speed and not putting in full effort. But not Jordan Davis. During 11-on-11s last week, Davis was heard yelling at the entire defense. His message, I don't care if it's OTAs, go full speed, don't slow down, pick it up, and go faster. And this is where the tone begins to shift, because that line tells you everything you need to know about where this defense is headed. Reed Blankenship is gone. He wore the captain's patch last year. Someone has to step up and fill that void, and Jordan Davis is not waiting for someone to hand him that role. He's taking it. Last year was his breakout season. He was dominant on the interior. He got paid, and now he's showing the young guys exactly what the standard looks like on the defense. In my eyes, Jordan Davis gets that captain patch this year. No debate. And he's going to be a very vocal leader for this defense. Okay, now we got to talk about the guy that has this whole building excited and expecting a big push. Uar Bernard, 7th round pick, International Pathway Program, coming out of Nigeria. We all knew he was a physical specimen when he was drafted. But what Jordan Mailata said about him last week, that was on a whole nother level. Mailata told reporters that during a workout, Uar was moving an insane amount of weight. Now think about that, because the man saying this is Jordan Mailata. 6'8", 365 pounds. One of the most physically dominant offensive tackles in the entire league. And Mailata is standing there going, where did you find this guy? Mailata called him freakishly strong, freakishly fast, and he said once it's said and done, and he puts it all together, he believes it's going to be a wrap.
Uar is a freak. He is also not of this planet. I'll tell you a story. We were doing a bent over trap bar rows. So if you don't know what that is, you're standing in a trap bar and you basically bent over like this and you're rowing. We've watched Uar put 315 and then just rep out 315 bent over trap. That's a very serious number to pull on there, and he's just freakishly strong, freakishly fast, and I can't even compare him to me just because he's just, again, not of this world, just by like metrics and numbers wise. He's just, you see him, his effort on the film, once he puts it all together, I think it's a wrap.
But here's what made me even more excited. The Eagles sent Bernard for a pre-draft workout at 9 a.m. in Miami. Eagles D-line coach Clint Hurt showed up and Bernard was already there at 7:45. Full sweat, already working, and already warmed up. Clint Hurt writ on the record saying that right there is what sold him on Uar Bernard. The work ethic, the character, the hunger. This is not a guy who was drafted just because he's big. This is a guy they drafted because he wants it and will do anything to make this team and to make that dream happen. And Mailata didn't stop there because he had things to say about another 2026 drafted rookie. Third round pick Markell Bell, standing at 6'9", 346 pounds, out of Miami. Mailata's exact quote, "Markell's a big fella. I don't know where they found him. They said they got him out of Miami. That's a lie. He's not of this planet." Bell has been starting at right tackle during OTAs with Lane Johnson and Fred Johnson both sitting out. And before that, he didn't allow a single sack in his final season at Miami. And it made me think to myself, could we be looking at the future at right tackle of this franchise? Could we eventually have Mailata on one side and Markell Bell on the other? That tackle duo will be absolutely enormous, and I'm all here for solidifying the future of this offensive line. Now let's talk Cooper DeJean, because Cooper DeJean's approach to the safety transition is definitely something else. Vic Fangio confirmed it a few weeks ago. With Reed Blankenship gone, Cooper DeJean is moving to safety in the base defense. And Cooper DeJean went on record this week saying he's fully locked into his new role. His words, "I'm excited. It's a good challenge for me. Just trying to perfect the position now rather than going back and forth." But here's the part that really stood out to me. It's the way he's preparing for the role. Cooper DeJean has been studying tape from Charles Woodson, a Hall of Famer, a guy who played outside corner, nickel, and safety over a 17-year career. The same positions Cooper DeJean is being asked to play. Woodson figured it out and became one of the greatest defensive backs in NFL history. The fact that Cooper DeJean is going straight to that tape, that tells you he's not treating this like a temporary adjustment. He's treating this like it's his chance to cement himself as one of the best defensive players of this era. Now let's talk about the offense, because there's a stat I want to go over with you. Last year on short passes of 0 to 10 yards, the Green Bay Packers ranked 3rd in the entire league in EPA per play at plus 0.19. The Philadelphia Eagles ranked 22nd with a minus of 0.02. That's the gap that Sean Mannion is here to close, and he's already doing it in OTAs. Jordan Mailata said this offense is simpler now. The blocking schemes are clearer. Everyone knows their assignment, and there's motion everywhere with under center, play action, and deception built into every design. And then you have the Philly voice saying something that should have every Eagles fan hyped. Tank Bigsby's one-cut running style might actually be a better fit for Sean Mannion's scheme than Saquon Barkley's. Now Saquon is still going to be the main attraction. That's not changing. But multiple beat writers confirmed this week that Bigsby looked more explosive this spring than he did all of last year. He's been putting in extra time with Jalen Hurts, building the chemistry, getting reps in the passing game. Year 2 for Tank Bigsby could be a breakout year, and he's a free agent after this season, which brings us into contracts. According to ESPN, Green Bay just locked up Christian Watson on a 4-year, $110.5 million deal, averaging $27.6 million per year. Drake London just got 4 years, $141 million. JSN is at $42.15 million per year. Jamar Chase, he's sitting at $40.25 million a year. Meanwhile, DeVonta Smith is currently on a 3-year, $75 million, $25 million a year contract. He's underpaid right now by every comparable wide receiver on that list. NFL.com wrote this week that there's one thing for sure in Philadelphia's offense, and that's DeVonta Smith. 3 1,000-yard seasons already. He's now the clear wide receiver 1 in Philadelphia, in a scheme designed to feed more versatile receivers. And then you got Terrell Owens, who said this week he thinks DeVonta Smith is a top 5 receiver in the NFL. And in his opinion, he sits him at number 3. So I do think the Eagles extend Smitty this season before the market and the asking price gets higher than what it already is. Now on to one more thing before we close, because I know a lot of people were worried about this. Makai Lemon did not participate in last week's open OTA session. He was spotted on the sideline with his sleeves on his right leg. And yes, the Inquirer reported he's not expected to be at mandatory minicamp starting this week. But before anybody panics, Anthony Gargano pointed this out about Makai Lemon. He was spotted at the team's community playground build with no sleeve on his leg at all. If this was a serious injury, he would be at the facility getting treatment, not at a community event. Also worth noting, Lemon played 12 games in each of his last 2 seasons at USC. He's not a guy with a long injury history. And when he's healthy, those numbers speak for themselves. His career contested catch rate with 57%, fourth among all receivers in the 2026 draft class. In the last 5 years, 8 out of 15 receivers drafted in the top 20 cleared 900 yards in their rookie seasons. 6 hit over 1,000. Makai Lemon is fine. This is maintenance. He's going to be good and ready when the time comes. I'm not worried, the Eagles aren't worried, and you shouldn't be worried either. So, where are we right now with the Philadelphia Eagles? The drama is behind us. The noise has settled, and what we're seeing right now at OTAs is a team that's building towards something. Jordan Davis is setting the tone on defense before the pads are even on. Uar Bernard is showing up and showing out and giving the people something to talk about. Markell Bell might be the future for this offensive line. DeJean, he's evolving. And on offense, Sean Mannion is doing something this organization hasn't seen in a long time. He's building a system that makes everyone better. Not asking players to go out there and win on an island. Not dropping the ball in players' laps and saying you go out there and you figure it out. Getting players open by design. Actually putting this roster in a position to win football games. We don't know if Max Crosby is coming to Philadelphia. We don't know if Tank Bigsby gets a new deal with the Eagles. We don't know exactly what this team is going to look like when week 1 hits. But I'll tell you what I do know. This roster has something to prove. Every single man in that building, they look hungry, and it's almost time for us all to eat. Now, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button for me. It helps the channel out a lot. Drop a like on this video. Every like goes a long way. Share this video with another Eagles fan, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single drop. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.